I would say, what's a memory that you have where you could say, wow, at this moment, I fell in love with making food. You took a different route and it was like not even in your plans, but now it's kind of like it's your passion now. It shows.
Well, it was always around me. I mean, it was around me because, like, all my uncles and aunts, and they all had little bodegas and little restaurants, like, you know.
You come from a family of hustlers in the bodega
Yeah, and
industry.
like I said, it was a big family. So, like, you know, I remember, like, every other weekend, there was something going on somewhere. You know, it was just somebody's birthday or a barbecue at somebody's house. And I remember being a child, like, most of the time, like helping my dad or my mom the night before a big barbecue or something, like get ready and prep stuff. And
Right.
you know, my dad's family, especially, they were very poor growing up. And
Right.
you know, my dad has told me stories of, like, you know, his father passed away when he was like 5, 6 years old. So, you know, my dad has been like, he didn't go past the third grade. You know, they were working the fields, like, en lo que lo dicen conuco allá, like, since they were like 7, 8 years old. And he would tell me stories of, like, of my grandmother, like, frying an egg and splitting it in two between him so he could share with his siblings, because there was a bunch of kids and there was not enough, you know, to go around, especially around that time, because it was like just her and then all these kids, and like all the kids had to go to work to like help out. And so, like, you know, it was just like, I was never like, although like I didn't have like a rough, like, I don't think we were poor growing up. I think that maybe my brother and my sister, they struggled a little more because they're like 8 years older than me.
You're the youngest?
So, yeah, out of the three. So I think that maybe they experienced more of the, like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of negligence or whatever, right. Because of, you know, they were my father was probably building more around that time.
Right.
But, you know, I don't think I ever struggled as far as like, oh, I grew up poor or couldn't have something because my family couldn't provide it. I think it was more like, I saw all the hard work around me all the time. Like, I remember being 7, 8 years old. It was Saturday morning, and my father didn't go take me to the bodega with him. I would call him like, yo, I was crying like, yo, you don't love me. You didn't take me to work with you.
Yeah.
Like, that was, you know, I was just like, this was like in my blood, bro. Like,
you know what's crazy, as I'm hearing you share that story, because our parents, and this is me, it's hitting me now as you're saying it. Our parents were great at hiding struggle from us. So,
which is probably not a good thing. I actually, like, I'm very vocal with my kids. Like,
okay, so that's another thing. We're gonna dive into parenthood too, because when I look at my parents, and now at 43, I understand everything that they went through. Us growing up, we didn't feel none of that. They just wanted to provide, protect, and propel us into what the future was in their vision at that point. So when you say you didn't, you had older siblings that probably felt more of that pressure, or they saw more than you, and you being the youngest. But even I believe our parents in general, they were great at hiding struggle from us. They were great at just suffering in silence. And like you said, with our kids now, it's like we want to like make sure they understand the struggle and see the struggle so they could appreciate it more, because I feel like it's reversed with us. It's like if we would have seen more of that, and we wouldn't have been so like, I guess like blindfolded to the fact of life at that point, we would have appreciated much more, much earlier in life rather than later. So now it's funny you say
we grew up more naive to the real world because of that. Like, you know, because, you know, okay, I think a father's main job is to, I think both to protect and to provide. It's like you can't really put one over the other. But it's like that's our main role. As a man, that's your role.
Yeah.
Protect and provide.
That's it.
So it's like, I think that, you know, that generation, I can't blame my father. Like I said, his father died when he was like 5, 6 years old. So he didn't have a father to, like, if he was, you know, lost or confused or felt a type of way about anything, he didn't have a dad to go. So I couldn't, you know, after, you know, having my own kids, I can't like expect for him to have known how to create that for us, you know?
Wow.
You know, so.
How many siblings did your father have?
He's probably like 9, 10,
Yeah,
maybe
well,
11
ours
if you
too.
count. If you count, like, I think 11 if you count, because my grandmother remarried, obviously, and then
Okay.
she had like a few more kids with my other grandfather, who's my grandfather too. He's the only one that I knew, so
Okay.
I always called him Papa.
Okay.
He's still alive. He's the only one of the 4 grandparents that I have that's still alive.
Okay. Okay. So, parenting is tough, and we're going to get to that in a moment. Just to touch on a little bit about your journey initially, right? Was there ever a point in this journey, as you look back now, that you said this is definitely not going to work? I know you said you're not a quitter, but was there a moment that you said, you know what? Let me go back to whatever I was going to do, because this is truly not it for me right now?
No, man. After I was in, I was in. I'll be honest with you. My first restaurant that I was at, where Chef Papi was born, I want to say.
Because I remember when even the catering back in the day, when you used to go to people with the food and cater to an entire.
Yeah, that was during COVID. I was working out of the kitchen of my house. People were stuck at home, so they were celebrating at home. And I was doing a lot of private dinners. People who felt comfortable having a stranger in their house during COVID, right. They were okay with it. I don't want to talk. You was
masked up, gloved up,
bro. I don't want to talk politics unless you're cool with it. I really don't care. I'm very vocal.
We could talk,
but like I was, during that time, the people who were okay with it, like they weren't, crazy, and they were cool with having people around.
Right.
I was physically in their homes doing events, and if not, people like that were just like, we'll order catering. I was working out my house, out my kitchen, and I was bringing stuff to them, and it was, it was a time. It was weird, because it was a time where, like, although we were kept, like, let's say, away from each other,
yeah,
a lot of people came together in weird ways.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
It either made you or broke you up. That time frame in the pandemic, right? It either got you closer to people or just you.
Yeah, and I think that defined a lot for a lot of people. Like, I know it was easy for a lot of people because it was like there was a lot of like money being given out and stuff like that, whatever. But a lot of people did capitalize. The people who did have or see the opportunities, they did capitalize on whatever they were up to. Right. I saw it as an opportunity, for example, and I think that was one of my best times. Honestly, that was like a transition for me because I was at a restaurant. It got shut down a few months before COVID, actually, because they were gonna remodel, whatever, and then they weren't able to reopen. And then it was like another opportunity where like there was a restaurant in the Heights that they were gonna like shut down too, and they were like gonna give this one more thing a try. Like, what are you gonna do? And actually, there were people that I knew in the industry. It was like 2 or 3 of us. We got together, and I was like, yo, let's do a ghost kitchen. And we opened the ghost kitchen. So before even the city allowed people to like dine in or do outdoor dining, before that even happened, we were already like killing it, like selling like mad food online.